Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to your October 2021 reading. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for a more well-rounded perspective. And if you'd like a reading that is a bit more individual and personal to your situation, feel free to check out the description box below for links to my website and Etsy shop. All right, let's go ahead and begin. As we start and enter into the month of October, we're coming in with Ace of Wands. So you've made some drastic changes towards the end of September at some point that has changed something in your life that feels like a new beginning, that feels like a new beginning, but it has to do with action. It has to do with motivation. It has to do with having momentum into a specific direction. So some new inspiration that has inspired you to take action, and by taking that action you have opened up doors for future actions, future inspiration, and therefore kind of burning clarity in a direction that you couldn't have seen before. It's solely because of these actions that you have committed to, you have taken a hold of. You saw an opportunity for something that you had kind of been pondering on, contemplating, maybe even sort of praying on, as far as what you needed to do about a particular situation or a situation as a whole. And you just took action, and by committing to that action, grabbing hold and committing to that action, you have sort of lightened a path of future actions regarding this particular situation and where it can lead you, and the future actions that may be required of you. But there's confidence in this as far as how it's representing right now, that energy that I'm feeling. There's just an overall confidence that I feel that is coming in strong with this. So we are following with this with Two of Wands. So again, just really kind of validating what I've already tapped into and received from this particular card. That idea of how you have managed to see something and you accepted what was presented and you committed to it. You grabbed a hold of it and you just went with it. You went with that inspiration. You went with that guidance and you acted upon it. You not only committed it in thought, but you committed it in deed. You committed it to it with follow through action, and it's presented more ideas, more opportunities, more kind of like stepping stones where you before you couldn't see the direction you were supposed to go, and you could barely even see the next step that was in front of you. But because you have grabbed a hold and you've committed to this, you feel like you have alighted the path, not just right in front of the feet and that you can see with your eyes right in front of you, but off into the horizon. You can see where this has potential of leading. And so as a result of this, there's also choices that you need to make. You're faced with some choices, some decisions, and it's influenced by whatever this commitment was. So something, and this feels, again, that second week, middle of October, somewhere around in there, something's going to arise because the trajectory that you are now on, this decision, this commitment that you made, you kind of, like I said, you lit the way. You have committed to a specific path. You've committed to a specific direction. And you're following that commitment with actual follow through, with actually active in the deed of follow through. Eventually, though, somewhere in the month of October, around that middle time frame, the trajectory that you're going to go on is going to have you at a path at a crossroads of some sort. And when you first come upon this crossroads, I feel like there is almost the first word that came to mind was panic. So it's something that's going to it's going to hit you hard because of how your perception is now changed, how you view things and your decision-making skills. But one of the reasons why it hits you like this is because when you first come upon whatever the situation is, you first see it through the eyes of the person that you were before you took this action. But eventually you'll get to the point where you will be able to see it through the eyes of the person that you are, since you've made this commitment, and what you feel like you can be loyal to, and how that gives you the strength to continue to follow through. And that in and of itself, once you realize that about yourself, you're going to be able to commit to this because of the commitments that you have already made, because of the strength that you have gained with your follow through and your deeds and actions up to this point. And you're just going to all of a sudden understand, have comprehension regarding the trajectory that you want to continue on. So when you come to this crossroads, at first it might feel intimidating, but you will remember who you have become. And as a result of that, you'll be able to not struggle with the decision. You'll be able to suddenly realize what direction, what trajectory you're going to continue to want to go down on. And you will be able to make the decision that, you know, is going to be the right one to make. As we move towards the end of the month of October, we have 7 of coins. And just coming in strong with this overall energy of knowing that you have the best interest, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your descendants. You have the best interest in your heart and your mind. And you take comfort and solace in knowing that you are doing this not just for yourself, you're doing this for your family. You're doing this for not just today, but tomorrow and the many tomorrows that are going to follow, the tomorrows that you can't even really fathom, the tomorrows in the distant future. You know that there's going to be a payoff eventually. You may not be able to see it right now, but the dividends, the fruits, the harvest as a result of the trajectory that you started on, that you will eventually follow through with, and where it carries you as you come towards the end of the month, no matter what happens because of this, what you face and what you go through, you're going to end the month of October just having a deeper understanding of yourself, what you want to be committed to specifically for the future of you, your children, your descendants, and knowing that the harvest that will be rendered for not just yourself, but for your children and your children's children makes it all worthwhile. And it will help to give you that grace and strength to kind of stay committed to this trajectory that you have started on as you enter into the month of October. We're finishing this reading with the card Winter, the sacredness of pausing. So I just get an overall sense that whatever is going to happen as a result of this, you're just being told that winter is just a season, and sometimes there's the sense that you're going to be entering a winter in your life. So just do what you need to do to create the preserves for that, however that applies to yourself. So really taking in the concept of winter, really demanding you to, you know, take stock, kind of have preservations, sort of have what you need to keep yourself warm. So that kind of winter prep idea. So you're going to, throughout, as you move through the month of October, and this feels like this will become clearer in its message whenever you get to the middle of the month. But do what you need to do to prepare your reserves for this temporary winter, this season of winter that you're entering. And I'm, again, not talking about the actual season of winter that is happening or coming in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm talking about a personal season of winter. Do what you need to do to create the preserves, have the preserves that you need to move through this. That way, as you enter this season of winter, instead of seeing it as a time to worry about whether or not you have done everything you need to do to prepare yourself, you can actually take a moment to rest during that particular personal season of winter. But there's an overall sense that these events of October is actually putting you in the trajectory of having a personal winter, and you're just being told, make sure you have your reserves set, because when you have your reserves set, it's easier to relax and actually rest in winter, as winter is meant to be utilized. Time of rest. All right, that is all I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has been everything that you were hoping for and more. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising to get a more well-rounded perspective. And as always, if you would like to have something that's a bit more personal to you and your situation, feel free to check out the description box for links to my websites. Other than that, have a fabulous month of October, and hopefully I will see you in a future video.